Alright, so that's really cool that we learned in this episode that Fennec Shand is in fact a cyborg. That was awesome. And I thought this was a Robert Rodriguez episode. He didn't direct it. It's an executive producer. But I thought, it's probably a Rodriguez episode because he loves him as cyborgs, right? So I was thinking, oh, Fennec Shand Battle Angel. Like, that's kind of what I thought. That was an awesome flashback reveal. Now, it was a little cringy when Boba Fett called the ship the Fire Spray, because that's like the new name that Disney's giving the Slave One. And I'm like it's stupid. They think that the name Slave One is offensive now. And I'm like, no. It's not called that because of anything offensive. It's because Django, Boba's father, or donor, everyone first, he called it the Slave One because he saw himself as a slave to the Kaminoans, being their clone host. So it was never really made with any sort of offensive connotation, but, Disney has to be, all PC now. So it's called the Fire Spray, but that's stupid. They can call it the Fire Spray all they want. It's called the Slave One. I don't care what you think, Disney. But I really liked the Wookiee fight, he's in the bar and he kind of sees the Trandoshans, and I don't know what those Trandoshans did to him to make him that angry. But, he was pretty good with his electric brass knuckles, which, honestly, that was a pretty cool weapon. Yeah, this had a lot of really good action. I really like the shootouts between Boba and Fennec. And I love how at the end, he's got all of these crime, not really crime lords, but all these, space criminals together. It's like, y'all are working for your own agenda, but I'm going to put you all together. We're going to work together to take down the crime syndicate that's invading. And so does anybody think that Din Djarin, or Jin Djarin, or whatever his name is, Mandalorian, does anybody think that he's going to show up next week? Because it seems like they're hinting that, because at the end where Fennec comes out to this, muscle can be bought, you hear the Mando theme, which hasn't been heard in the show before, even though it's connected. So that makes me think if that was their hint that Din Djarin's going to come in next week, or maybe in the finale. So there's only, 2 episodes left of the show, so there's going to be some sort of big ta-da reveal, hopefully. So, like Luke Skywalker showing up at the end of season 2. So, I wonder what's going to happen next week. What did you guys think? What did you guys think of this episode? I thought it was great. It had a really good story, it had really good action. I really liked when he was in the Sarlacc pit trying to get the armor and pressing all the buttons, right? That was a really cool sequence, even though the armor ended up not being there. But still, he had a really good dynamic with Fennec. Most of this episode was essentially a flashback as he's healing in the back to tank, which that's a good way to sort of get backstory and everything to sort of show what he's been up to the point where we see him kill Bib Fortuna and the Mandalorian. So I really enjoyed this show. We'll see what happens next week. It's getting better and better as it goes along.